Hello, little adventurers, and welcome to our story corner. Today we have a tale about a girl named Mary and her very special, very mysterious garden. Have you ever heard the rhyme, Mary, Mary? Quite contrary. How does your garden grow? Well, let's find out what that's all about. Once upon a time, in a cheerful little cottage with a bright blue door, lived a girl named Mary. Mary had a big sunny garden, but for the longest time, nothing she planted would grow. Her carrots were tiny, her peas were pale, and her flowers would just droop. The other children in the village had gardens bursting with colors and yummy vegetables. They would sometimes peek over her fence and whisper, "Mary, Mary, why is your garden so bare?" This made Mary feel quite sad and a little bit grumpy. "It's just contrary," she would sigh, kicking a loose pebble. "Everything I do, it does the opposite." One sunny afternoon, a wise old owl named Professor Hoot landed on her fence. He adjusted his spectacles and said, "My dear Mary, I hear your garden is feeling a bit contrary. Perhaps it's not the soil, but the spirit that needs tending." Mary was puzzled. "The spirit?" she asked. "Indeed. Who did the professor?" Gardens are like friends. They listen, they feel, and they love a good bit of cheer. Why don't you try planting something unexpected?" And with a wink, he flew away, leaving a single, shimmering silver bell on the fence post. Mary looked at the bell. It was so shiny. Then she looked at her empty garden beds. "Something unexpected," she repeated to herself. An idea sparked in her mind. Instead of planting ordinary seeds, she decided to plant the prettiest things she could find. She gathered smooth, colorful river stones, lovely seashells from a trip to the beach, and some shiny, sparkling buttons from her grandmother's sewing box. She dug little holes and carefully placed her treasures inside. This felt different. It felt fun. She wasn't trying to grow food or win a prize. She was just decorating her garden to make it beautiful and happy. The next morning, Mary tiptoed outside. She couldn't believe her eyes. Where she had planted the buttons, tiny silver bells were sprouting, tinkling softly in the breeze. "Silver bells!" she gasped. They weren't ordinary flowers. They were musical. She ran to the spot where she'd buried her seashells. And there, growing on sturdy green stems, were perfect, pearly white cockleshells glistening in the sun. And cockleshells! She cheered. She had never seen anything so magical. She felt a giggle bubble up inside her. Her contrary garden was finally growing something. But the biggest surprise was yet to come. She looked at the end of the row, where she had carefully ranged a line of her prettiest, most colorful river stones. Standing in a neat and tidy line were maids. Not real maids, of course, but the most beautiful little flowers that looked exactly like little girls in pretty bonnets and frilly dresses. They swayed gently, as if they were curtsying to her. And pretty maids all in a row. Mary laughed, clapping her hands. Her garden was no longer bare or sad. It was filled with music, wonder, and enchantment. The other children, hearing the gentle chimming, peeked over the fence. Their jaws dropped. "Wow, Mary! What happened?" they asked, their eyes wide with wonder. Mary, who used to be grumpy about her garden, now beamed with pride. "He's not contrary anymore," she explained. "I just had to learn what makes him happy." She showed them her silver bells, her cockleshells, and her row of pretty maids. Instead of just looking, she invited them in. "Would you like to help me tend to it?" she asked. The children cheered and rushed into the garden, eager to touch the musical bells and see the flower maids up close. From that day on, Mary's garden became the heart of the village. It wasn't about having the biggest pumpkins or the reddest tomatoes. It was a place of imagination and friendship. The children learned from Mary that sometimes the most wonderful things grow when you stop trying to be like everyone else and just be yourself. Mary wasn't contrary in a grumpy way anymore. She was contrary in the best way possible. She was unique, creative, and she wasn't afraid to do things differently. Her garden taught everyone that a little bit of imagination and a whole lot of heart can make anything grow, even silver bells and cockleshells. And so, Mary Mary, once quite contrary, became Mary Mary, quite extraordinary. She learned that being different isn't a bad thing. It's your own special kind of magic. Just like her garden, she blossomed when she stopped worrying about what others thought and started planting what she loved. And her garden, with its silver bells, cockleshells, and pretty maids all in a row, was the most wonderful and magical garden in the whole wide world. What a wonderful story. Mary learned that it's okay to be different and that sometimes the best results come from thinking outside the box and following your own heart. Her unique approach turned her contrary garden into something truly special. Remember, just like Mary, your unique ideas are a gift. Don't be afraid to be you. Thank you for joining our story time today. I hope you loved Mary's magical garden as much as I did. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more wonderful stories. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.